So I've been watching some of these highlights because of the FIBA, the basketball World Cup type thing, and just other events in the recent times. And I've noticed, like the New Zealand little dance, or like I don't know if it's a dance. I don't wanna mislabel it, but they have like a ritual, right? The Haka, where they do like a little. I don't want to call it a dance, but it's like a series of movements, right? And it's like home and hey home and hey ha, and they do the thing. I just wanted to say something, okay? No disrespect, but it's getting a little obnoxious because it like the other teams watching it is like, okay. For some reason, like the movie, one of our favorite movies, Remember the Titans. They had a little thing where they would go out in the fields and they're like, "We are the Titans, the mighty, mighty Titans." I still don't like that, but for some reason that they're playing with themselves, like they are making fun of themselves, right? Like they know it's like a little joke. Oh, we're here singing, oh, that we're gonna mess you up, the mighty. But the Haka is almost like, oh no, we're for real. And I think that if you take yourself too serious, it comes out a little wrong. I don't have any plans of going to New Zealand, so I'm very open about saying this. But who knows, They are very, very warrior-like people.
They are. They are. It's a very interesting thing. I used to like it before, but now it's like every single time they go out and play, they're doing it. So, yeah, I think it's getting tiring. But at first, I thought it was very cool because it's a performance. Maybe we can call it. I don't know. They call it. I just looked it up, but it's a traditional war dance. So I'm guessing before a battle or a combat, they used to do this dance. I mean, Wikipedia is calling it a dance, so
Okay.
we can, right? Let's see. It's performed by the group to demonstrate strength, pride, and unity. So
And dance coordination.
and dance coordination. Yeah, I mean it's a little overplayed. So
Now, can I comment here? Do you think maybe the issue is that it's not that they do it? Because like you said, at one point I really liked it. I thought it was like a cool thing. Especially if you watch like Invictus, this movie about South African rugby team beating what they call the All Blacks, the New Zealanders, which has nothing to do with what some people might think. It's about their uniform, which is pretty fire, the All Black uniform. My problem, I think, is that if you do it at every fucking event, it loses its meaning. Like if you do it in the final, you got to the final. You do it then, you're like, hey, what's up, motherfucker? But if you do it like in the pre-elimination games, like if you do it, it's like, hey, bro, what the fuck? Like, get serious, Like, imagine right now, there's been some tennis tournaments, right? Djokovic won right now, which I really support him and seems like a cool guy. Imagine if, like, on the final game, he started doing some like Siberian, Serbian dance. He's like, it would be weird. So, and I always feel like the other team is on the other side thinking like, who the fuck you think you are?
there's a very famous video of the All Blacks New Zealand basketball team against the US. I think it was at the World Cup in 2014, somewhere around there. Anyways, and you can see that they were doing the dance before the game, and all these NBA players, very highly ranked players were like standing there. And I mean, I wish we could put the video, but I'm afraid that they might take this episode down. So, but you can see like James Harden and what's his name? Anyways, their faces were like, what the fuck is going on? They were not used to it. And I guess I didn't tell them before the game that the New Zealand team was going to do this.
I could even picture them like laughing at it.
No, I mean, they're
Not
not
that they
laughing.
did. Not that they did, but I'm saying like you like. And then I don't know how good they play basketball, but it is also even weirder because like if the rugby team does it, which I understand they're one of the best rugby teams in the world, like they win a lot of the, World Cups of rugby, For people that watch rugby, right? There is a small percentage of people. We do have some people in the Southeast Asian Sea, Singapore, and then some Australians, some New Zealanders. Hopefully they listen to the podcast too. But there isn't that many. That actually. But I do hear they're good at rugby. Now, if you play basketball with the U.S. team, again, I don't know how good they are, but my assumption is you might not want to do the little winning dance and then get scored on like 40 points over.
I have to look up the final score on that game because I feel like it could be like a whoop ass. Like they whoop their asses.
Because that's the thing. Like you have to have some sense, like of common sense, I guess. And like because like let's say like Venezuela, right? We had a guy go to the Winter Olympics and do like country, cross country skiing, right? Which is a thing we have no knowledge about, right? We barely have any snow in Venezuela, let alone a mountain that's like good enough for you to practice, let alone the income that you would need to even practice. So they sent some guy that I guess it was his dream, and for some reason he thought, if that guy starts talking shit before the race, where he's just like, hey, I'm gonna fuck you all up. Ice, I was born with ice, motherfucker. I got ice in my veins. And then he gets completely destroyed. The contrast is what's fucked, right? Like, so all I'm saying is, I don't know when they're doing the dance, but it seems like they're doing it all the time. And there is a moment where you say, okay, chill. Like, we get it. You guys are the Haka bros. It's fire. I understand you guys are the master warriors. Nobody fucks with you. You go in the sea and, you got the rock look with the tattoos and I'll fuck you up. And we get it. We get it. Don't take it as a disrespect. It's just exactly that. We got it.
The guys, the Venezuelan skier, Antonio Jose Pardo. I remember the guy because he came last. I think he didn't finish.
He didn't finish, yeah.
I think he didn't finish. But he didn't have... That story is very interesting because he didn't have any...
He had never touched snow in his life.
Snow, yeah.
And the government of Venezuela sent a guy to represent Venezuela in the Winter Olympics for cross-country skiing, a sport that I had never even heard of. There's a like it's weird. It almost looks like people that don't know how to ski because there's a part in the race where you're not going downhill. You have to climb with the skis.
Right.
So it's a very weird race. And this guy, he said, "Oh, I trained a lot in the grass," which, okay, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, when he went, he couldn't even get up. But like people had to assist him. It was very embarrassing, and people made fun of it. And I can understand that. Maybe he had good intentions. The government used them in a way, but you also have to have common sense. Like, So again, all I'm saying is, if you're gonna do the Haka, make sure you're like good at it. Like, you just don't do it at any sport, like baseball, and then you get on by the Dominican Republic.
They lost against the U.S. I found the score. Do you want to take a guess? What the difference was?
Out of respect for the All Blacks, I won't give a prediction. But what was the score?
They lost by 27.
In basketball numbers, that's a lot, right?
That's a lot. So they lost 98-71.
So like you see, like that's maybe a sport. Like after the game, maybe the coaches talk to the guys and say, hey, like maybe we don't do Haka anymore for a while. You know what I mean? Until we start bringing trophies in.
Maybe we can't do that shit.
Maybe we don't be hacking around.
Maybe we just leave it for the rugby team. Let them do that shit.
Like I almost feel, again, we're talking here the mad shit, but I almost feel like the rugby team made everyone else feel too comfortable with it. and they haven't really like spoken up. Like, hey guys, you gotta earn it. It's not just like, oh, I do the haka, I'm cool with the haka. No. Are you bringing in trophies? What's that scoreboard looking at like? Or are you just willy-nilly hacking everywhere you go? Like you just go to Starbucks and you start doing the little haka. You go to a club with your boys and you're doing the haka because you got drunk
in front of the bouncer. Oh, you got drunk. Yeah. I was just going to say in front of the bouncer to get in.
Oh, yeah, that's even worse. But like, don't blame me for not taking it seriously when you're not taking it seriously.
Well, maybe we don't take it seriously, but they do. But then they get whooped.
But what I'm saying is, if you took it seriously, you wouldn't just be hacking around for everything. Okay, so we'll leave it there with the haka. But it is a very cool dance, and I haven't been, but I hear that New Zealand is amazing, beautiful place, and we respect and love everybody from there. Just, a little bit chill with the haka.
Take it slow. Again, you should only be able to do it if you know you're gonna whoop some. Like, let's say the U.S. was playing New Zealand in rugby, then you can do the fucking haka.
Do the haka and fuck them up.
Let
me give you a little a contrast to it for the Americans. Maybe people are hearing this and they're like, sorry, Kiko, I don't understand this because I only speak American, and that's fine. The equivalent, I guess, and a little bit, would be like when you pimp your home runs, right? So that's when a baseball player hits a home run and then does a little bit of a ritual movement, dance, or a little song that lets the other people know, yeah, motherfucker, I am him. This one makes a little more sense because you're doing it after the fact, right?
Right.
So you're doing a celebration. And in baseball, for people that aren't little nerds about the sport, pimping a home run or celebrating is a sign of disrespect. And in baseball, they don't play with that shit. So players normally, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Maurice, you are a little bit more knowledgeable in the field of sports. Chef Maurice originally wanted to be a sports journalist, but life took him to the kitchen. It's unfortunate, but he's done well. But yeah, so baseball players, they save those moments. So they're like, I'm not gonna pimp every home run because that's not classy, and there's gonna be repercussions to that. I'm probably gonna take a hit from a ball. I'm gonna have to fight. It's gonna get dirty. So I'm gonna save it for that moment. Maybe it's 3 on base. The last of the innings. You have a lot of beef with the pitcher. You fucking fly that out. And at the beginning, you act like you're not going to pimp it. And then you pimp it hard. And you say, may wrath come over me.
That some months ago in the Winter League in Venezuela, Ronald Acuna, so he's about to be the MVP of the major leagues this year. But he played in the Winter League. And he pimped a home run in the finals, and he got so much shit from it. But most of that shit came from old school baseball lovers.
But this winter league is in the U.S. too?
No, in Venezuela.
Okay, who does he play with over there?
I think he plays for Tiburones.
Okay. Not only Venezuelan players, but also Caribbean players that are good, and even U.S. players. On the winter, they go play in the Caribbean, and the Venezuelan league is a very good one to go to because it's a very competitive league. You get cheap cocaine, and the hookers are not expensive.
Right. That's the only reason they go to the Caribbean. So anyways, Ronald Acuna hit a home run. I think it was in the finals. And that was the last game he played because everybody was so pissed at it. At first, I was pissed when I saw him. He also did it against my team. So... but I was pissed, and then I'm like, you know what? This is part of the new era of baseball. So that was fine with me. Now,
is it the case? I've heard that, and I've seen too, in Latin America, there's a little bit more leniency than in the U.S. with pimping home runs, no?
Or because of that Caribbean flow.
Yeah, because Caribbeans, they're, they want to spice things up, Maybe a few bullets go around.
Yeah. Maybe he goes back to in the dugout and he brings out his shotgun or something.
Yeah, and Acuna is killing it now. He's the smaller guy, right?
That's Altuve.
No, that's Altuve. My bad. Altuve's killing it too.
Yeah. Acuna, he's young, he's handsome. He plays for Atlanta. So
And he's killing it.
he's killing it. He's gonna win the MVP this year.
You got the other guy too, Ellie, Dominican, right? Kid, also young.
Eli de la Cruz.
Fucking fire.
Fuego.
He's like a shortstop, no?
Yeah.
That's
And he's
fire,
tall,
bro.
Tall as fuck.
Shortstop has an arm and can bat. But anyways, sometimes we get into baseball. I don't even watch that much baseball, but I just love the game. You know why I love the game? Well, first of all, let me explain why I look like a 42-year-old father that's about to buy a new pair of New Balances. It's mainly because of the comfort. You want to look, you want to think about your kneecaps at this age. I had not shaved my beard in a long time for obvious reasons, right? Because I look like a fucking penis that has a disease. But I'm gonna, in a few days, gonna go to the barber, get my thing done. And I just wanted to like shave everything and let new hair grow. And see if the white hairs that I've been getting could die, and then I get the black hairs back.
I think you're fucked, man.
I think I'm fucked. Now, if God is hearing, if he even exists, I would exchange getting the gray hairs and still keeping the hair. So if that's a choice, I'll sign it. I'm down for it. I've always thought of myself as a George Clooney-esque character anyways. And George Clooney. I mean,
I can see it.
He finally got married, George Clooney. But you know how he was. He was a little silver fox going out there. Just tasting the rainbow, if you will. Okay, but anyways.
Pussy rainbow?
Specifically that rainbow. Yeah. I'm going back to something that has to do with vacation. I was recently on some vacation. You always have those little moments while I'm in vacation.
But you didn't
go
to New Zealand, right?
Oh no, I didn't go to New Zealand.
Oh,
no.
okay.
No. I'm in a no-fly list to New Zealand.
I think after this episode, you're gonna be.
Hey, when I'm going inside, like in immigration in New Zealand, they're like, "So we hear you're not fond of the Haka dance."
Now you have to do it.
You do the Haka dance. Our ancestors died for the Haka dance. Okay, so in vacation, it's always funny because there's always things that come up like, oh, about that. I want to talk about that in the thing. One thing that hotels are doing now, I think you recently went to a work trip, not for your work because you're not working, but
I'm unemployed.
I don't know if you stay in a hotel, but have you noticed this? Hotels now encouraging you to not change your towel every day. I see a lot in hotels. They're like, oh, look, you want to save water? You want to save the planet? No, you want to save a little planet? Maybe you don't change your towel every day. Maybe you use it a couple of days. And me, I'm not a wasteful guy, and I don't mind. So I used the same towel 2 days, then I changed it. You throw it in the floor if you wanted to change it. But it's like, I guess you could say we're sort of saving the world, but really we're just saving you money. And you make more money. And I hate when companies use the green agenda, the eco-friendly agenda, when really you're saving money. Like, you're the one that's getting a benefit from it. No. I paid to stay in this hotel, and I want you to change everything every fucking day because that's the experience that I've been taught to enjoy as a capitalist person. So, I don't know, that it just got me mad because I'm like, why are you even putting this in front of me now?
So when I came back from my work trip, no, I was looking in the hotel, and I thought the same as you. I went into the restaurant and they had a sign where it says no cleaning lady's gonna come and change your towels and change your bed stuff and clean your room. And the first thing I thought was
what up?
That's
it said that they won't.
They won't
at all.
For stays less than 5 days. So if you're staying more than 5 days, she will come in and
oh hell
clean.
no.
And if it's less than 5 days, which is what we did, less than 5 days,
You eat a dick.
you stay with that dirty ass shit.
What? These
then-
motherfuckers were able to circumvent the system. Now they don't even provide the service of a hotel.
Yeah, and you think about it, I'm like, whoa, at home, I don't really change my towels, every week or every day.
Yeah, but also at home, I'm not jerking off into the coffee machine. So there is different experiences. I am in a hotel. You know what's crazy? I thought you were going to tell me, oh, I've seen that, Kiko, but I do live in America. So we still, no, to you it's worse. Like for us, we get the choice. I mean, they're still encouraging you not to, right? But you get the choice. Like, oh no, this is a hotel. We clean the things every. These motherfuckers, in your case, they were like, oh, by the way, we're not cleaning anything until you leave. Okay, and here's a little broom if you want to tidy up the room.
Actually, yes, there was a broom.
No,
Yeah. Dude. It was a weird experience,
bro. The U.S. is a third world country.
You do your own shit. It was a weird experience because, I mean, I have been in hotels like the one that you said where, well, it's not, you don't have to, but, and then this one is like, we're not cleaning your shit for less than 5 days.
That's insane, bro. And also one other thing, observation I have with hotels recently, because I mainly stay in hotels. I don't stay in Airbnbs. I've never been that type of person. I prefer not to. I don't want to deal with the owner. Sometimes I would visit friends here that would stay in an Airbnb, and it's like there's still pictures of these people. Like it's just a weird little dynamic going on there. I like hotels, but ever since like a few years to here, the utensils or products that they give you to like take a bath, wash your hands, all that is getting shittier and shittier and shittier. So now I take my own shampoo because the things they have are not even able to create soap. Like I feel like I'm baiting myself with nothing, and I find that has deteriorated along the years. Like hotels used to have a higher standard for care, and I'm talking about the lower standard hotels. I understand that the very high end ones might still have this, but for a person that has grown up in a middle to low middle class childhood, you would go to like Motel 8 or Holiday Inn or La Casa Inn, whatever. And you would get that standard, that minimum. But now you don't even get that.
Not anymore. Now you're fucked. Now you clean your own. Actually, there was a little package of soap detergent. So they're like, well, if you want to wash your own things, here's some detergent.
Oh, hell no.
That you can go into the laundry room.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
And so,
hey, would you like to become also a cleaning person of this hotel?
So, most of the people that travel, they don't want to do the house chores, at the hotel. But now at this place,
the brochure says, "Are you in need of a fresh pool day? Here we leave you with the leaf cleaners that you can use to clean the pool in the case that you would like to enjoy the facilities that we provide." No, that's insane. That's insane. And I do find it to be something that's maybe we're losing. Maybe we need to fight back. I don't know. I just feel like this like lowering of the standards of the service, and nobody says shit. We talked about it with the airplanes. Airplanes are the shittier they've ever been. They don't even give you foods anymore. Like it's almost like a fucking bus, like a Greyhound.
Dude, the plane ride that we got back on was like the shittiest plane I have ever gotten.
Like the people.
Can I say
too?
the name? The people that were like very fucking mad, and then they didn't have enough snacks for everyone, so they're like, "Whoops, sorry." It's like, come on, bro.
Fuck is this?
The chairs are now like closer and closer, so a tall person like us can't sit in that shit, and they treat you like shit. I mean, I understand that there's some clients that treat the how do you say it? The aromosa? How do you say that?
Yeah, the flight attendant.
the air waitresses and waiters, they treat them like shit. So I understand if somehow they want to retaliate, but I didn't do anything to Jacqueline for her to be pissed off at me and not want to give me some water, And yesterday's plane ride was shit.
I hear so many stories like
car.
this. The car?
The cart with the drinks, they didn't have that shit. So they were all with trays and like 10 cups of water that were hot. Because also summer sucks. Like summer by far has to be the worst season out of the year. Where we were at, it was 115 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's inhumane. Anyways,
so okay. No, the whole like service in the planes. I mean, thankfully in Europe, for some reason, I don't know why, if it's socialism, communism, there's still like a minimum of cordiality, diplomacy. Not always. I mean, I'm not, by no means I'm saying that Spanish customer service is top of the line. But the things that you see in videos of the U.S. where like people go crazy and insane, I don't see that shit here. Just the decay in the service, it's crazy. But anyways, to lighter notes, because at the end of the day, this is not a political podcast. We're just here to have fun, take some papers and look at God. One of the things I noticed, it is the summer. There's a lot of these ice cream places because I was in the coast of the Mediterranean coast. It's the Mediterranean. And, there's different restaurants and touristic. And the thing that I like to do and I think I like to do when I go to vacation. I mean, in the previous podcast, I've said before that I don't like vacations. But when I do them, I like it to eat it. I like it to put the food inside of my mouth. And they have these ice cream places, right? And one funny thing, there's always one that has a huge lines and then others that are empty, and there's no like specific reason. People just follow others, right? Like we're very much followers. But anyways, I'm walking around in the boulevard that's right next to the beach. You have like a long thing where you walk and you see the beach and you see the shops, and it's very nice. Spain has done it in a way where it's not too luxurious that you cannot access it, but it's classy enough that it's not a shitty thing, right? Like Venezuela has beautiful beaches, but we do have some infrastructure issues at some points where things don't look nice. Here, it's super nice. And it was close to the midnight, and this ice cream shop was closing. And I'm just looking from afar, right? Because I'm a curious George. I'm just always curious, just looking around. And I'm looking at this dude. And you know how like each thing of the ice creams, like each individual container has like a plastic thing that they stick inside the ice cream where the name is, right? So it's almost like a plastic name holder, right? So at the end of the day, you have to take out the ice cream, right? He's taking it out, putting it in other containers, and he has to take that plastic out and like clean it. But this dude, with every ice cream that he would take out, he would grab that and then lick it.
No.
Yeah, but chill. He wouldn't use it again. Like,
oh, okay.
After licking it, I assume he would clean it. I mean, I couldn't see that far, right? And it almost thought to my head, like, I mean, what if this guy's like dream, right? Because we all have dreams in life. His dream was always to be an ice cream guy, and that every day after his shift ended, he could take just one small scoop of each ice cream through the removal of this plastic name holder. And almost in a way being a little deviant, a little sneaky-rooney, where he would not just take the plastic thing up straight, he almost would do it in an angle so that it's almost like a scoop, right? And he would do it with each of these ice creams. And I know that sounds like, why are you even telling the story? I just almost saw in him, in that little second, in that spectrum of time, I felt like happiness, like the pursuit of happiness, the ending of the pursuit of happiness where he's coming down and he's like, oh my God, I made it. He was like that. He was like with the scoopings. I was like, oh my God, this guy knows how to live.
Damn.
So, I don't know.
That's epitome of, like you said, happiness. Maybe that was long life dream, and then he's just tasting all this fucking ice cream. Maybe he does it every night. He needs to quality check that shit every night. So I give him props. Now, I hope that after he licked it, he put it away and washed it. So Camila in the morning wouldn't put that dirty ass shit back.
I would hope. Although one thing that I do try to do when I'm not only on vacation, just out there, when you're eating in places, try not just to look at how they're doing things. Maybe you don't want to know how the sausage is made. Sometimes it's better.
I want to know how the sausage.
You want to know, but you are in a world of high cuisine, right? Like culinary inventions, right? Like pioneers in the taste bud sections of life. But when you're like a normal human being like me that goes to places that are normal, I mean, aside from the fact that I do my investigation, I do my standardization of the taste. I like it. This is a place that I would go back to. I like how they do it, how they present it, the quality, everything. I'm not too keen of like knowing every little detail of how you cook things. I mean, don't you remember even when I used to work at a pizzeria? It was a pizzeria that did things the right way. I mean, it didn't cut corners. It didn't give you any food that was not good. Like, it was all done well. But knowing the ins and outs of things gives you a different perspective when you're enjoying food than if you're the one that's... I mean, even you as a chef, you do everything by the books. Michelin star places, high quality cuisine. But you still would have a more refined experience if you were coming from the outside with no knowledge of how things are done in the inside. Let's say you didn't like Juanita and how she looks and how she does the sauce. That puts already a bias. Not in you, but maybe in Elizabeth that's coming from the hills, Maybe she wouldn't be too fond of the head chef being you, a Latino, that kind of looks white but off-white. Maybe she prefers the food be brought out without any specification of the maker so that she doesn't get this biased because of racism. Or, other discriminations too, But I just feel like, sometimes I have that thing where I prefer not to know what's going on. But anyways, I've been wanting to share some news for a while. Maria Sakkari, she's like a tennis player, woman tennis player. That's maybe what you didn't hear of her before. But she's like pretty good, And her, along other tennis players, they claim, right, and they sort of voice this out, that around during her loss at the U.S. Open, she smelled marijuana.
Okay, her point is... What the
fuck? Yeah, Maria,
what
the fuck?
What the fuck is your point, dog?
And then other players also discuss this. Now, is this something to complain about? Is this something to be happy about? What do you do here? Do you speak to Leonardo DiCaprio's entourage? Tell him to chill out a bit?
Come on, Maria.
Because
to me, shit together, bro.
It's almost like maybe it's better.
Now,
I mean, it is open.
Let's get something clear, Maria. Weed is legal in the state of New York, where you play the fucking U.S. Open. So, what's your point, girl?
Maybe you shut the fuck up next time you lose.
I mean, was she blaming the
No,
smell?
She wasn't. I think she just commented it like a little comment, like, oh, by the way, I smelled it.
That means that she has never gone to a fucking concert before.
Yeah.
Where, come on, Maria. Okay?
Maria, how do you know what we smell like?
Right.
Maybe you tried it.
I mean, if you didn't like it, it's okay.
The hypocrisy is what bothers me. Do you think it was Djokovic?
As much as I like Djokovic, he's a very good tennis player.
Okay.
One of the best.
Okay.
And I got to meet him once. Maybe we can ask the producer to put the picture of me and Djokovic.
You have a picture of him? Okay.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Producer, please.
But I don't know if you've seen the videos of when Djokovic asked for water, and then you see his whole crew hiding whatever they put in the water. And I think it's, you know, to be competing at a high level like that, you need to get something, you know? There's
What?
something else
That
in
that
the
that in the water he's getting, there's some things in there that are like performance enhancing.
no, nobody knows. But then why
Is
are they
it?
hiding
Is
the
it? But
Gatorade, you know?
okay, but how are they hiding it? Like, are they preparing it right on the court?
They are.
No,
I'm
they're
gonna send
not.
you videos.
Oh,
I'm gonna
really?
send you videos. Yes, he sits like after the points and the break and whatever the fuck. He sits and then he signals to his box. So each player has a box where the coaches and the family sit, and then he signals, and then you can see his team like gathering around the water bottle and like hiding whatever the fuck they put in there.
Like
They shake
Maradona
it.
style fucking cocaine sniffing.
They shake it and then they give it to one of the ball boys, and then the ball boy.
But wouldn't you
takes
think? I mean, unless the fucking potion that they're doing needs to be done in the moment, but you would think if you are doing some sort of cheating, which I'm pretty sure they're not, that you would just have it all prepared from before.
You would think. But you know, if you're putting some special magic potion.
Nobody needs to know what I put in my water, okay? This is some bullshit. I did not want to take vaccine. Vaccines for gay.
I don't put stuff
I
in
don't
my
even-
body that I don't know.
That's not even how he speaks. He speaks very, very good English.
Very good English.
I don't think you understand the type of person. I come from the war-torn country of Serbia. Serbia. I don't fuck around.
Vladimir.
I don't put any testosterone inside my water. I would never do that. I mean, I'm just thinking here, what could you take that's drinkable like that could help you? And the other thing is, what is allowed in like sports? Like, are you able to take like sports drinks? You know, because I mean, that's also something that people never talk about. They talk about like enhancing drugs that you could inject. But what about just like hydrating liquids, right? That can hydrate you better or quicker, like Gatorade or whatever. I guess that's allowed.
Well, in sports, individual sports like this, they're always, you know, under the magnifying glass because they're just relying on themselves and their ability of playing the sport. So when a person like this, you know, like Novak, gets like all this prestige and he wins, he's always going to be in the focus of, is he doing some sort of performance enhancing drug? Is he being honest about it? You know, he didn't take the vaccine, but he's taking all this shit that, you know, and I'm guessing he gets blood drawn every
I would
couple
appreciate
days.
if you change the tone when you speak about me, because you're assuming that I'm taking things that are illegal. I would never take anything illegal.
You're right.
I come from a country where there's no corruption. No, Djokovic, he's cool. He's probably just taking, I don't know, I'm microdosing on mushrooms. And that's why I beat the Spanish fucker Alcazar. How he is so good, I cannot believe it. Carlitos Alcazar, Murcian, tennis player. I mean, I'm learning a little bit. When you become older, when you cut your beard like this, when you have that fat little thing, it's like the fupa of your face. You start learning about, like, you know, oh, have you seen F1? Oh, yeah, the Williams team has gotten a new driver. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I do have friends that are actually more into the tennis thing. They have some of them that are like failed athletes, but they teach tennis now. So they know a lot.
Drugs.
So they know a lot about these little concoctions that sometimes happen with the tennis players. What are they drinking? So we might have an episode soon with somebody that can give us a little more insights into that, because we know a little bit, but we're not enough, you know, to know all the details.
Do you think chefs get or take performance enhancing drugs?
Oh, definitely. But you kind of want that, right?
I think you should. Or
If you're a
you would.
consumer,
Yeah.
I want that chef to be on top of his game, whatever he needs to take. The Perico room is a very common, you know, Anthony Bourdain knew about it. He's rest in peace, Bourdain.
I know, I don't want to say where you work or what company you work for, but have you seen performance enhancing drugs at your job?
I wouldn't know because I'm just so away from that world. I wouldn't even recognize it. Okay. Coming from my background, I just wouldn't even know what to look at, right?
Right.
So
No, we wouldn't know about smells or looks or
so naive.
Yeah.
To any of this.
Maybe if people are eating portobello mushrooms at lunch.
If you're eating portobello mushrooms and you start seeing God, maybe those are not portobello mushrooms. And maybe you're about to meet God. Anyways, Direct Connection, Madrid, San Francisco. It's back. You got the Washington hat, looking cutesy. And yeah, just keep it real. If you really work for it, you might even get to the moon like the Indians did. So, shoot for the moon, land in the stars. No, shoot for the stars, land in the moon. Something like that.
Close enough.
All right, guys, let us know what you guys think. I love you. I'm changing the lighting. I'm just testing things out. I got a diction teacher who's going to teach me how to speak better English, and I'm just appreciative about all of the feedback that we get. Do leave comments, rate it on iTunes, on Spotify. It really helps us. And yeah, much love.